speech. In 1991, His Holiness the Dalai Lama visited our campus, and then with our tribal leadership, the All Indian Pueblo Council passed a proclamation in support of His Holiness the Dalai Lama and his seeking a peaceful resolution for his people in Tibet and the People's Republic of China. Our shared experience of fighting for our right to self-determination, language and cultural preservation, and religious freedom inspired the proclamation. Here now is Governor Riley of Acoma, Pueblo to read the proclamation so that we may be reminded for our support for each other.
Tibetan Luchin, Wemazi, Wakat Judy Skama, Wemazi, Sladium Game away, Christitze Huch, Tident, Iran, inspired. Iskar Edit, Wemazi, Han, Wemazi, Shaish Tims, Opa Kaitawazi, Shastin, Zit, Wemazi, Skawish, Bayubi, Skaish Tims. Etimo Havezi, Shuwa, Zitawazi, Laikas. Watawa Bakunano Zam, Emezi Numas. Do him a mesh, yes. Azay Tratanus, yes. What the shite Zitapo Puch, the Stivizuita, need. Good afternoon, everyone, or good noon. I acknowledge and very much respect the words of the President of Tibet, and I acknowledge the administration that's here, the community of Tibetans, the fellow governors, lieutenant governors, sheriffs, other tribal officials, parents and students. In the words of the President, I find similarities. In our prayers, we often pray and put the land, the people, and the animals first because they cannot provide for themselves. And so also in our prayers we ask for our people, but we always leave the wants and needs of ourselves last. In a translation in Acoma, it means after you have provided for all of these animals and individuals in the land, whatever is left, this is what I ask for myself. So we do have similarities. And the All Indian Pueblo Council is one of the oldest Indian organizations in this country. Our ancestors of Pueblo country established it formally in 1598 during the Spanish occupation as a result of similar oppressions by the Spaniards who came to conquer this country. And so we do have similarities in our struggle to maintain our language, culture and traditions. We often advise our children, and that's why I'm here today. My fellow brothers in office are going to meet this afternoon with our Acoma students. And that's what we emphasize. We emphasize our language, culture, and traditions. And I'm glad that the Tibetan people still maintain, even in exile, those very important things that determine who they are. So I applaud you again. I was asked to read the proclamation of the All Indian Pueblo Council of New Mexico. Whereas His Holiness the Dalai Lama is involved in a struggle to place his people and his country in an environment free from hypocrisy and religious obstruction, and to establish a democratic form of government. And whereas the Pueblo people have endured through centuries of similar oppression, and whereas because of such experiences, the Pueblo governors and officers of the All-India Pueblo Council understand and share in the trauma and heartache being expressed by His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and whereas it is the desire of the governors and of the officers of the All-India Pueblo Council to encourage His Holiness the Dalai Lama to continue his struggles against oppressive forces of this world, we do hereby enact the following proclamation. Now therefore be it resolved that the governors of the 19 pueblos, each an independent government, and the executive officers of the All-India Pueblo Council do hereby proclaim to peoples and nations of the international community that His Holiness the Dalai Lama of Tibet should be given recognition and authority to settle any and all justifiable claims against all oppressors now occupying his country, and therefore subduing Tibetans to foreign concepts and controls. And further proclaim that unless native people of the world are afforded self-determination and establishment of a democratic associates on their terms, the world will suffer great consequences. Further proclaim that the Dalai Lama will continue to receive the support and encouragement of the Pueblo leadership to whatever extent necessary. Done this day of April in the year of our Lord, 1991. Signed by the Chairman, James S. Hina, Vice Chairman, Benny Atencio, Secretary Treasurer, Daniel L. Sanchez. Thank you.